What's going on, football fans? It's your boy Lolo back on the stoop again in another lovely Brooklyn day. I'm here with this guy. He's got a smile on his face, probably because of the weather. I don't know. He keeps trying to convince me that he's happy with what his team did.
Yeah.
I don't really know
I'm
about
happy.
that. So
I'm happy.
we just got done watching West Ham United beat
Soundly.
Wolverhampton
3-2.
Wanderers.
We came back 3-0. We didn't lay down. We had fight.
He's not even letting me start this show, man. He knows I'm just going to be talking smack about their team because he has been talking so much smack about how his team got the double on who was it? On
Arsenal,
Leeds United, on Arsenal,
and practically Chelsea. We took 4 from Chelsea.
Living down there. Like we are renting space in number 10, 9, 8 that we're renting it from you guys.
It is mediocrity. Just like anywhere else below 5.
Oh my God.
You are sitting mid-table.
So meanwhile, West Ham, who is becoming like the Leeds United of the beginning of the season, where they're so much fun to watch.
Let them be the West Ham of this season.
No. Because they are so much fun to watch. They're scoring goals like crazy, but then goals get scored where you're like, for real, honestly, that match could have ended 7-5.
7-5 for either team.
I wouldn't have been surprised if you guys came back and won it. To be honest, it was set up the exact same way as the Arsenal match with 3 goals right away. Very good, dominant play. Goal right before halftime. Changes the match. Then you guys come in, you score another goal. I was like, here we go. Freaking Adams over there sitting somewhere in Texas. The side of his head is starting to itch with a wolf on it, even though he didn't make that bet. But it was, it was very, very entertaining play from West Ham. And I got to say, kudos to you guys. Like, everyone keeps waiting for you to collapse. And we thought it was... nobody said it was the Man City game because they actually played well for losing to the champs.
Yeah.
Everyone started saying it after the last match, which was the 3-0, 30 minutes that you destroyed Arsenal. And then the next 60 minutes where you lost 3-0 to Arsenal. And they're like, here comes the collapse. Here it goes. Here now Liverpool. Here Ian Smith now gets his chance to be right and get his team back into top 4. What's going on, Ian? Thank you for being here so early and commenting to us.
I know. We had to play catch up for 20 minutes.
You weren't talking to nobody. We were reading each and every one of your comments and laughing. But here's West Ham. Ow. My head. Do I have something?
Yeah, you still got something on your head.
Oh, damn.
I hear peanut butter will take that out.
You know why that was itching? I think there's a hammer about. It's like my knees. If it's going to rain, I'm getting old enough where my knees start telling me if it's going to rain. But the side of my head is itching. Director John, do we have a hammer somewhere?
There he is.
Hey. Brawley. What's going on, brother? How are you feeling, Mr. Top 4, Mr. Champions League?
Yeah, we're pumped right now. I mean, you couldn't have asked for much more, although I could have asked for more. I could have asked them not to make it an absolute heart attack there at the end of the game. But I'm over the moon with jumping into it. Yes, exactly. Jumping into a Champions League place. And what are we? April 5th and West Ham are in a Champions League place. I don't think I would have ever thought I would utter those words.
I think you and 100 million fans are thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Wow, it looks like Liverpool will be watching West Ham play in the Champions League while they prepare for their Thursday night outing to Kazakhstan.
I would love that.
Yo, that's assuming Liverpool can make it into the Europa League.
Oh,
yeah, I am still upset about losing to Liverpool because Liverpool were not that good. I stand by it. They were not that good. Arsenal were just terrible. Anyway, back to some good quality football. Talk to me about what you would give to keep Jesse Lingard at your team.
Well, you talk about like funds wise, how much money that I would be prepared to spend,
or people, or
it's not my money to spend. So give him $100 million for all I care. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, the way and I'll be honest, when we first signed him, I won't say I was against the signing. I didn't think it made sense for the players that we already had. And we don't have a striker. We have Michail Antonio, who, as you can see today, has bad hamstrings. Although he was
great,
terrific. I mean, that was the best I've ever seen him play. Taking guys on, bullying guys. I mean, he dribbled through 3 or 4 guys at one point. I mean, he was terrific. But we don't have a backup. We had to bring on Jared Bowen, who's a winger, to play forward.
And we know what he did.
Yeah, and he did score in his defense, but
that was a rocket.
It was. I thought Patricio probably should have saved it at his near post, but I mean that might be me being critical because it was a rocket. It was a rocket, but
he was 1-on-1 too, where Lingard was far enough back that he had the whole goal to choose from.
For sure.
So it was a guessing game at that point.
For sure.
Patricio.
But I mean, I didn't think that we needed to sign Jesse Lingard, and he is proving every West Ham fan that said that wrong. Because when you sign a guy that hasn't played 90 minutes of football in almost 2 years, I don't know. It wasn't what I would have thought was a good signing, and he's turned out to be absolutely terrific. And I think he's got 8 or 9 goal involvements in his first 7 or 8 games now. I mean,
he's the signing of the winter, man, for sure. I don't think you can top that. I think he is the signing for
it's just a shame
this winter.
We don't have a buyout clause for him. I mean, we don't have any clause that says this fee and he's a West Ham player, which is the only thing I wish that we would have done, is because now you're going to have big teams sniffing after him because he looks better than at any point he played for Manchester United playing for West Ham, I think. And that worries me. Hopefully he wants to stay and he knows he's going to play under David Moyes. I mean, I'm hoping, and then 25 million, hopefully tops, is what it's going to cost us. But
no.
He's got 1 year left on his contract. Unless he resigns, unless Manchester United, and they've been known to do that, where they sign a guy to a 5-year deal in order to get a big transfer fee, which is possible. But hopefully it won't cost us much more than that. But, I mean, like I said, it's not my money. I don't care. Go spend 40, 50. I don't care.
Wow, yeah. Well, speaking of no clause, let's talk Wolves.
We had teeth and claws today.
Not in the first half of the match.
Well, I'm not going to make any excuses. And you know what? Lingard got the best of us. He was brilliant in the first 30 minutes. Absolutely.
There he is.
One thing I will say about Lingard is that he has the tendency of kind of running himself out. He looked real gassed in that second half.
He was cramped. Yeah, he was cramping at the end of the game.
And somebody mentioned on here, I don't know how Lingard should have been sent off. Yeah, Mike. Lingard, he's on a yellow card, and he kicked the ball away, which is a yellow card offense. Any ref could give you a yellow card for that. Yeah, it's kind of a stupid thing, but it's a stupid thing to do.
But
not do it on a yellow card.
Yeah. The first yellow I thought was ticky-tack. It wasn't wasting that much time. I mean,
but it doesn't matter. He's on a yellow card already. So what I'm saying is that's the behavior that I think people at Man United didn't like about him.
Maybe.
Because for me, it wasn't always a performance thing at Man United. It was that he was young and he had a bit of an attitude from what I remember of him there. So that was something where, yes, those two things of he's looked fantastic in the first half of matches or in the beginning of the second half. But then he wears down towards the end of each half.
Yeah, he really, really did.
So,
I saw,
That could make sense when you haven't played regular football. I mean, he has now started. He started to play regular football regularly.
Yeah.
But before that, like I said, he hadn't played 90 minutes in almost 2 years. I mean, what do you expect? But now he played for England. He played a one full game, and he came on at the end. He's finally. We're playing him. We're gonna ride that horse as long as we can, as hard as we can until this loan's over. But if we lost him, it'd be a big blow to us at this point. I mean, we've been dealt a couple of big blows today, and
Declan Rice, man,
yes,
you missed him. You missed him in the important parts of the match, which is towards the end of the first half and most of the second half.
Hold on.
Well, you're gonna bring up Ralph
Jimenez now? I can just get a little sympathy if we're dishing it out for injured players. We lost Johnny again.
Yeah, you did.
And
nobody knows who that is.
fuck off. We lost Johnny again. We lost him for a season. He blew his knee yesterday at practice. I was really looking forward to watching Podence and Johnny play together. I wanted to see what that looked like, and I think the Wolves did too, and unfortunately we're not going to get that opportunity. Podence was brilliant for the first half that he played. I really enjoyed watching him play. He was putting a lot of passes into the box, which we haven't had much of this season. So that was really cool to see. That's kind of why I'm happy, knowing that our schedule is going to get a bit easier, and we got some shots.
Now, hopefully
we got
him
more
and us
shots
will
in
come
the
back
first
to
half than we normally get in an entire game.
Do you think he inspired Traore to go, oh, I remember how to do that. I remember how to put a cross in the box.
Because that play with Traore was
it's nasty. It was filthy.
That's what we.
That's
where is that
Traore.
been all season?
Typical Traore. That's what
I've only seen that like once this season,
and it just hasn't.
And
happened.
it was the goal. The goal scored, but it was the one that ricocheted off of the back of Messier.
Yeah,
that was dished by Traore.
Yeah, that was.
I've been wondering,
but there was a lot of things to see, that I like as a Wolves fan, and not only that, but we didn't lay down being down 3-0, and it was worth watching up until the very last second, because Wolves could have scored the equalizer.
Yeah, Mr. Tom says lots of goals in the EPL this week. La Liga was too busy dealing with racism to provide goals. Okay, well, the first half of your tweet, your comment, absolutely. And today alone, there were, I'm going to say 8 should have been goals. Richarlison missed a hat trick of goals.
Absolutely.
Calvert-Lewin missed 2 that should have easily gone in. The one that James made should never have gone in.
That was such a cool goal.
I don't understand.
You just were like, here it comes.
But Wolves had 3 that should have gone in.
Neto had multiple chances.
Patricio made some killer saves. In both matches, both keepers made a lot of saves, especially for how many goals went in.
Yeah.
Made some really good.
Yeah. It was a fun game to watch. That's why I'm not angry with that result.
Answer that question, Mark.
Honestly, Mark, are you happy with Wolves' standard of football this season on a whole? Unlike other teams, we have starters, and kind of like a Bielsa team. You know who's going to start. Am I happy? No, I'm not happy. But we have been bit by that injury bug. And I don't want to make injuries be an issue, but we lost Podence for 2 months. We haven't had Jimenez since November. Willie Brawley is out again with COVID. We lost Johnny for the rest of the season again, and we just got him back. I mean, I can continue with this list, and we're playing with kids that are super young and are getting invaluable experience, but they're not up to snuff yet. Is Fabio Silva supposed to be starting this season? No. Is Ait Niori supposed to be starting this season? No. Kijana Hoover? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm right, people. Hoover came over from Liverpool. He wasn't even supposed to get a sniff this season. We're playing with some extremely inexperienced players, and we're doing the best we can. Am I disappointed? Absolutely. I do miss Jota, but here's the thing. The Wolves figured that they could get rid of Jota because of the potential of Podence. And they got $45-50 million for Jota. You can use that money. Mid-table team needing to move up. We're not like Arsenal that can spend $100 million whatever's on a Willian.
Nope.
Who's doing great.
When you're mentioning clubs of that,
Don't
talk to Arsenal.
You guys just spend like it's strippers.
No, we do not.
Yes, you do.
Choose a different club when you talk that way, because Arsenal is notorious for having millions in the bank and not spending it.
It's just on attackers, not defenders.
Exactly. It's not. It's like on one guy. Let's talk about, if you want to talk about flashing the cash, just always say Chelsea. Past market
I'm not crying.
For real.
I'm not crying.
And who is this?
I was asked whether or not.
Do we know?
I was asked whether or not I felt the season was disappointing, and in a sense, how could it not be? You know, we lost a lot of players.
Yeah,
and we're not a deep team to begin with.
Everyone has lost players though. So
who have you lost for more than a month?
Who have we
you
lost?
You guys haven't lost anybody. You lost Partey for like 6 weeks, and that was it.
We haven't lost we lost our captain for the entire season.
Who?
Aubameyang.
You lost Aubameyang for the season?
Yeah, we've been playing with 10 men for most matches. Anyway, what do we? Hold on, I want to get to some of these comments. First of all, I want to say big up to Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom is a Patreon subscriber. He's part of the Stoop crew. What's up to anyone else out there who's on the Stoop crew? You guys can sign up for as little as some odd tiny bit of money. You'll get a little badge next to your name and all that. You can
sign up for less money than they paid for Aubameyang.
Oh, way less. Anyway, what's up? Bremer's Ghost, welcome in. West Ham is Why We Drink podcast. Don't forget to check out Brawley's podcast. He's on the West Ham Way USA podcast. It's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here all day. Mike, what's up? Ben Ireland, I love talking to you too as well, man. Okay, and I want to get to a couple of these comments. First of all, Mr. Tom said, and I didn't mean to brush off the second half of your comment, but he said, yes, racism is actually a thing that needs to be dealt with. Yes, it does. The West Ham Wolves match is not the place that I think we can solve any of that right now, so we're going to keep talking about it. But you're absolutely right about that. Ian Smith says this stream should be a Liverpool versus Real Madrid preview show. No, but maybe I'll make one tomorrow, and me and you can talk because you're the only person who will be on for that. But we can do it, Ian.
I'll come in.
I'm going to be recovering tomorrow with not much else to do, so why not? Let's see. Somebody said you miss Jota. That's correct. Lolo is sounding like that color announcer who says this game could have been 5-5 and the actual score is 1-1. Yeah, that's kind of my job, though. I'm kind of the color guy between these two clowns talking about their team. What else? There was something on here too. Great podcast. He's not talking about his podcast. He's talking about West Ham Way USA.
Oh, thank you, Wayne.
Yeah.
He's been a guest on my show a couple of times.
He's great. I like Wayne a lot. And where's my sticker? Mike, is that Mike Pickles? You should be getting it. Did you ship it?
You should be getting it. But some stickers. I got to tell you, if you're not watching, and why should you? Because you live far away from here. But things with our mail service got fucked up during our election. So
yes, they did.
I don't know where anything is anymore.
But in all fairness, I've sent a couple things to family in Spain, and they get it faster than family that get it in Texas. So I don't know.
We'll get on that, Mike. Sorry about that.
And Via Martin, thank you for getting my joke. I love it. He says, LOL, lost your captain. When he's there, he doesn't turn up. Exactly. Thank you for explaining that to all these people. Liverpool content is the way to go. I don't know about that, man, because Liverpool have a ton of other things. We try to cover as many as possible, and we try to always have different people and treat it like it is to actually be a Premier League fan in the U.S. where we all got to talk about each other's teams.
That's it. So we watch them.
But listen,
I watch them.
Listen, you have been coming to the stream, so we may start putting more attention on Liverpool. So yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen, Ian. Anyway, thank you for that little break there where we talk to you guys. Let's get back to let's start with man of the match. So what I like to do is do a man of the match, and then what was I calling it? Stupid fuckhead of the match? Or dumb bastard of the match? Let's go with... No, because I don't know if there's any stupid fuckheads in this match. I don't think
there's a stupid fuckhead in this match.
For Arsenal matches, there's always a stupid fuckhead.
I don't think so in this one.
So let's go with man of the match, and then the just can't get right. We'll go with the just can't get right and the man of the match. Okay? So sure. Let's start off with our man of the match. Brawley, your team won. Who's the man of the match? And don't say Jesse Lingard.
I mean, that's the easy answer. If you wanted to go with an easy answer, it's Jesse Lingard because the man was absolutely electric. The goal he scored the first goal was you're not going to see too many better solo goals in the year. And I say solo, it wasn't really a solo goal. It was a couple of neat flicks behind the play that led up to that goal. But if I had to give like an unsung man of the match, I thought Mark Noble was terrific. He didn't do anything sexy. He didn't score any goals. I don't think he assisted on any of the goals, but I thought he broke up the play well. His legs were good for his age and what we've gotten out of him so far this year. And I think it was a really tough spot for him to come in when the West Ham world is collapsing because Declan Rice is injured. West Ham is why we drink right there. Wayne says it's perfectly. Mark Noble, more recoveries and interceptions than any other player. Captain, fantastic. I totally agree. I love Mark Noble. I've been an advocate of his. I don't want to see him start games when Declan Rice and Souček are in the game. I don't want to see that at all because that gums the entire midfield up and it slows everything down. But I said on my podcast, if a Declan Rice or a Souček gets injured, it's a perfect time for him to come in and start. Is it ideal? No. But today I thought he was really good, and he slowed Wolves down, and I thought he did his job effectively for the most part today. And so if I was giving an unsung man of the match, it was definitely Mark Noble, but I think the obvious answer is Jesse Lingard.
Yeah. Speaking of that first play, yes, it would be considered like a solo goal.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get anywhere near that goal without Mikel Antonio pulling three. Yeah. Was it three guys? Pulled three guys, and everyone is going, when is he going to pass it? When is he going to pass it? And then a little flick forward to himself where he was like, where did everyone go? I can take my time.
He's got all that.
It was terrific. And I should also clarify, I was watching the first half of the game on my phone on this tiny little screen, and the second half I was working and driving, so I didn't get to see much of the second half. So I'm going off of what I've seen, and I didn't get to hear a lot of commentary. I just want to clarify that because I don't have the best recollection of most of the game. I just really the goals and some of the play that I got to see in the first half.
Yeah. No, but I think you're pretty spot on there. Who would you say, Mark?
It's Jesse Lingard all the way, man. Yeah. And Mark Noble did exactly what he was asked to do: hold the position, just fill that spot and hold it. Yeah, he did a phenomenal job for that. But Jesse Lingard's performance was ridiculous. We can talk about the first goal and how he was helped out with the move that Antonio makes for him to get that. That's all well and good, but let's look at that second goal. That second goal where he chases that ball before it goes out, gives a little flick over Seiss, which is not easy to do because Seiss is like 6'3". He's massive, and he gives a little flick, gets it back. It gets to
it was
Masuaku who passes it to Fernals, and
great
that
goal.
Was all Lingard, man.
It was.
That was all Lingard. So he's definitely Souček is always great. Like I said, Noble held the position. I
thought Sofal was good at right back too, and he did get roasted in the second half. I think I heard he did get roasted by Traore a couple of times, which is easy to do. In any other season, that'd be like a totally normal thing to have happened,
right?
Besides this year, but I think Sofal is fastly becoming one of the most underrated right backs in the Premier League and one of the better ones at that.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as the player who just couldn't quite get it, that's on the Wolves, man. That's Pedro Neto, man. He had lots of opportunities to score. I think one was a sitter that kind of ricocheted off the goalie, and he just over the top. One went wide, another went over the top. Yeah. Neto just couldn't find the Neto. Womp, womp. So that's the player who couldn't quite get it. But again, I like the fight that the Wolves gave today. They didn't lay down after 3, which could have been very easily to do. In fact, I think last year, or not last, well, it would have been last year, but the last match that we played West Ham,
the 4-0,
you guys won 4-1, and we scored in like the 90th minute or something like that. We laid down. We didn't show once we were down 2-0, 3-0. And this was a much better result in that sense. I mean, obviously, I'm not happy with the final result, but whatever.
Yeah, I think that game ended 4-0. I think.
Oh yeah.
But this is the first league double West Ham have done over Wolves since 1923. Apparently, that was a great stat.
100 years.
It's been almost 100 years since we've done the double over Wolves. Wolves are a team that historically seem to always have West Ham's number. I know prior to this year, we were horrendous against Wolves. I mean, you beat us all 4 times in the Premier League prior to this until earlier this season. So for us to play so well against you guys, and I know it's been an off year for Wolves, and I know you guys have had a bunch of injuries and things seem to be when you actually take a step back and look at Wolves as a whole, I mean, as a third or fourth year team coming up from the championship, you've done really well, and most teams would be happy to just be survive. I mean, you're not going down this year. You're not even close to that. So I think most people, if you look at it from a vacuum, would say you guys are having a solid, I won't say solid year, but a fine year. You're not going down. So that's really the ultimate threat.
Yeah. I mean, you see us on the schedule and you're like, you're not going to say that's a gimme.
No.
I don't agree with that.
Well, of course not. You're an Arsenal fan.
That doesn't have anything. No, right now I'm the host of this show where we watch every fucking match and I talk about every fucking team. So I got something to say about it. And
what you got to say? What you got to say?
This is not an okay season. This is not a solid season. This is a bad season.
Yes.
Wolves came into the Premier League with a thunder, and they came in and I think first season they finished 7th. They got into the Europa League qualifier playoffs or whatever, made their way into the Europa League. First season. Second season, I think you finished 7th again, right?
Yeah, if it wasn't for that bullshit foul on Moutinho or penalty in the second to last game of the season, we would have been in 5th.
We jumped over you.
We would have finished 5th last year if it wasn't for that bullshit penalty.
What I'm saying is you've established yourself as a team that with no money, with championship money, you have a 7th place team. You did it twice in a row. So with the more and more money you get from every place that you finish higher, and being in Europa League, being in Europe, getting that money, you need to continue going up. I felt like last season it was rough. You should have finished 5th, and you just fucked it up. That's
what happened was COVID.
That second season shit. That's fine. So third season, I was looking at you guys like, okay, yes, losing Jota, fucking whoa, and even losing the guy you gave to Spurs, Doherty, who's much better for Wolves than he is for Spurs. Whoa. And then Raul Jimenez getting knocked out by
those 3 guys are huge.
That's huge. So
lose Podence for 2 months.
Can you be happy, or can you be like, okay, we're doing all right for everything that happened? If it was the first year, second year, yes. But this is the 3rd year. You should have people behind them that can keep you where you are. You're going down and down and down and down. When other teams are terrible, my team included, Liverpool's not looking fantastic. Aston Villa's not doing that great. West Ham is taking advantage and beating these teams that aren't on top of it. And then they're beating good teams as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I saw you guys way more likely to be in where West Ham is right now, taking advantage of these big 6 clubs being shitty and complaining. That's why I can't agree with it's a solid season. You've only been up 3 years. No, fuck
I'm
that.
I'm not saying it's a solid season. I'm just saying we're a solid team.
If you do something but 2 years in a row, you've established that that's where you belong.
Yeah, in those 2 years, we weren't hurt as we are this year.
But you've had 3 years to build a squad to cover for those players, and you decided to sell Jota, so you had to have had something behind. All I'm saying is, I'm giving you guys enough credit and enough clout saying you're too good to let that affect you. Like Arsenal's too good to say we're too big of a club to say, oh, our left back is out, so we have no morale. Kieran Tierney's out. Fuck it. When it's like, wait, he just came to the club.
Okay,
first of all,
hold on here.
You
really?
just keep seeming like
Kieran Tierney is out for Arsenal, one of the most deep teams in the Premier League, versus Raul Jimenez is out practically for the season. You can equate those?
No, I'm saying they're both
Now,
nonsense.
why don't you lose
They're both nonsense.
Aubameyang?
We have. Except we lost a man on the pitch, too, because he's on the pitch and he's not playing. To be honest, it would have been much better for Arsenal had he been
Or lose Saka
injured
for the season. Or lose Lacazette for the season. These are players that are equally important to Arsenal as Raul Jimenez is to the Wolves.
Yeah.
And you to throw out just, we lost Kieran Tierney, we're fucked. No, you're not. You know? Now us losing Johnny for most of the earlier season, he comes back for 3 games and we lose him for the rest. That to me is like losing a Kieran Tierney. It hurts, but you'll get around it.
Example. These fucking dudes lost Mikel Antonio before they had Jesse Lingard. Yes, they had the 8-foot tall Haller, but he's crap, and I've been telling you he's crap.
But you guys got the other guy. Who's the other guy?
All I'm saying is they lost very important people. You know what they did? They made some great signings in mid-season, and they had people cover it. So, yeah, man.
They made one signing in the mid-season. All their signings were before the season.
We only signed
beforehand with Souček and Soufal.
Soufal, right?
What I'm saying is David Moyes had the foresight to reinforce his team, and I feel like you have the same exact team minus good players. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, we're here arguing because I'm saying your club should. I'm putting your club up here.
I would. And
you're still no, we're still here. Next year for Leeds United, if Leeds United does not finish in the top 10, that is a failure. Because to me, they've established themselves, and next season with more money, there's no excuses unless their team is completely picked apart. West Ham as well. I'm saying for West Ham, the way you guys have done, unless your team is absolutely picked apart, and Leeds United, same thing, it is a failure to not finish in the top 10.
Well, if West Ham finish in a European place, I won't say Champions League or Europa, but either one, and we don't invest in this squad that we have, it will be a terrible league season, and we will probably go out of the European competition very early.
And have a bad league.
Yeah, and we are not deep at all. I mean, we do not have – we literally don't have another striker. We have the kid Mippo. I don't even know his last name. That's the only other striker. That's how bad it is at the striker position. Yes, we have guys that can – kind of fill in and do a job. Like Jared Bowen today came in and played okay. He scored. I shouldn't say he played okay, but he's not a striker.
I thought he played great.
He played very well, but he's not a striker.
And we don't have any depth. Mikel Antonio very well. It looked like minor, but he knew it straight away. You could see him hand up, get me. My hamstring just went.
Yeah. And he waved it in.
Yeah, I mean, after an incredible play where he was on the ground, beat 2 guys, got up, beat another guy, and almost scored. He hit the side netting. But his hamstrings can't hold up. I said at the beginning of the January window when we sold Haller and we didn't replace him, I said I would bet my entire house and every bit of life savings that I own that Mikel Antonio's hamstrings go again at some point this year. And sure enough, today they're gone again. And we have to invest. We just won and we're in the Champions League, and I sound like I'm being negative. I'm really not. I'm thrilled with the way we're playing right now and the way things are going. All I'm saying is if we want to be serious and go for Europe and make a run in Europe and make a run at the league and the League Cup and the FA Cup, any of those, we have to invest. And David Moyes has got to get the guys that he wants. He has to.
You know who I would like right there for you, but he does tend to have the same sort of issues as Mikel. But if you had them both, it would be awesome because they could take turns. Is Alan Saint-Maximin?
Oh God, I would love that. I don't see
similar style,
but I don't see him as a striker. I don't think. But again, Mikel Antonio was a winger. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I think he played center back at one point for you guys.
He played right. He played right
wing
back for us during the Slaven Bilic years. He's played on the wing. He's played in the midfield. He's played as a striker. So you are right about that. I think Saint Maximin, I love him. I absolutely love him. I would love for us to go get him from Newcastle because he deserves to be playing on a better team than Newcastle. Kind of like Dimitri Payet when we had him. It was kind of felt like, why is he on this team? Why he should be playing for someone better? I totally agree. I would love Saint Maximin. But I just think we need an out-and-out striker. I think today, when we lose Declan Rice, it shows we need to invest in the central midfield position. Mark Noble's done after next year. We have to be serious and buy a central midfielder. And if one of or both of Declan Rice and Souček get sold, then that shows you that we're still not a big club and we're not serious if we're selling those guys on. I don't think it'll happen. I hope David Moyes and Sullivan and Gold and Brady are strong enough and able to fend off any bidders that come calling for them. But I just think give David Moyes 50, 100, whatever. Again, not my money. I don't care how much it is. And let him spend. Let him get the guys he wants. Let's build something good here. Let's be serious.
Dude, talking about building on a solid ground, on solid foundation. If you can build your team. Now, Mark Noble, like you said, he's gone. Right there in the middle, Souček and Declan Rice with Dawson, who has come out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, he's been great this year.
You've got Aaron Cresswell and Soufal.
And Ogbonna, when he's healthy, he's there and he's amazing.
Those six.
Fabianski, too.
Fabianski is fantastic.
It's a great spine.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's 4-7. So then all you need is some goals got to come from somewhere. So if you somebody up front, and Souček scores enough of those, but with the quality of that and having even Diop as backup, and who else do you have?
Benrahma.
I mean, if you go to midfield,
Benrahma's up front. So Benrahma could be the future. Yeah. So is he on loan or is he signed?
No, we signed him. He was on loan. We made him permanent in order to get Lingard because we can't have more than 2 domestic loans.
So let's assume you lose Jesse Lingard because Manchester United are dicks, and you guys, you guys finished 8th or 9th, they'd be like, sure, you can have him, 25 million. But right now they're going, no, we're gonna sell him to who's staying up. Like, we'll sell him to Burnley.
Real quick, not to cover up your point, but I genuinely think it comes down to whether Jesse Lingard wants to be here. If he really wants to be here and he sees there's proof that we're going to give him the keys to the car and let him do his thing, then I think that's the only way we get him to stay without spending an arm and a leg. Because
I think at this point he wants to stay.
You would hope so.
And the tweets that he puts out, like, yeah.
But anyway, continue with your point. Sorry to interrupt.
So just thinking, like, say you lose Mikel Antonio, you lose Jesse Lingard. That back 6, from midfield back of Souček, Declan Rice, Cresswell, Ogbonna, Dawson, and Soufal, and Fabianski as well. That's as solid a ground as you could.
That's a great spine and a really good foundation.
But you're absolutely right of having depth. They cannot. Declan Rice being out, you guys may drop points.
Ogbonna. I think if we had Ogbonna in the team against Arsenal, and today we don't draw that Arsenal game, and we don't make today's game as nervy as it did. And don't get me wrong, I think Diop's played fine. He's played good for the most part. But I just think
just better.
He is better, and he tightens the bolts down a lot better than I think Dawson and Diop do.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you can keep everybody up front. But listen, I think Bowen and Fornals have both been these guys for you guys where, they're not prolific. They probably aren't making it onto any international teams, but they're there when you need them.
For sure.
They come in and they're going to be your guys that if you can get quality guys ahead of them, they can help out in Europe, in the FA Cup, in the Carabao.
No, I totally agree.
You're going to be playing a shit ton of football next season.
I totally agree.
We will not be.
And I will say, Fornals does have 2 international caps for Spain. He's played for Spain twice. Really? Yes, but he's not sexy. I wouldn't call him sexy or anything right now. But I think he's so young. Pablo Fornals is 25 years old. I mean, he's got some time to start developing and really become a really, really, really good player. Again, I know that wasn't the point you were trying to make. I wasn't trying to correct you, but you're absolutely right. We need those guys to stay healthy and be good depth there. Like I said, I think the central midfield position and the striker position, and maybe at left back we might need something, but I would really like us to bring in one or two prolific goal scorers, which is the one thing West Ham have not been able to do for the past 20 years is get a really good, consistent, reliable striker, which again is the hardest thing to get in football. Finding a goal scorer like Raul Jimenez is one of the hardest things to do in all of sports. So I get it that it's tough, but we gotta.
Aguero.
Oh God! You think he's coming to West Ham? Not a chance. Not a chance. I would love it. I would get so excited.
No,
and it would be typical West Ham to go sign an old, aging forward who's played for the big teams.
Who can still score 30.
He can, for sure.
He shows up, and like I said, you got that back line. You got the back 6-7 players back there.
I would love that.
Now, listen, for both of you guys, if you could have one player from the other team, who would you have right now? Current situation to finish the season. Who would you have? Who would you steal from Wolves? Who would you steal from West Ham?
Can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
I would say I love Ruben Neves. I've been a huge fan of Neves's. I don't think he's had the best year. Again, I don't watch a lot of Wolves, so I can't.
Nobody does.
I can't claim to know a ton about Wolves, but Ruben Neves again in that central midfield position probably wouldn't start for our team right now, which is crazy for me to say.
That is absolutely crazy.
But I would love to sign him as cover for Rice and Souček, and he would probably play a lot coming off the bench. And then if I couldn't get him, I would still take him in as coming back from this crazy injury. And he hasn't played a single game since that injury. I would still love to take him at West Ham because I think he would start and he would probably still score a bunch of goals.
All right, maybe not this season.
I'd still take him this season. I don't care. Antonio might be done for the season. I would rather see.
You never know.
You take him and just put him in the locker room. We'll take care of you. Those people in Wolverhampton don't know shit.
Yep, exactly.
Here's some London ice for you, for your cabeza. Okay, what about you?
I would take Souček to pair with Neves.
Yep.
That would be a very, very nice pairing, and it would be such an upgrade from João Matino or, when they played Dendoncker in the middle. We're just so weak in the middle field, and it just sucks that we just don't have those nice little passes. Although today we were seeing some passes, but that's what I would do. I don't think there's anybody else. Rice would be great.
Rice is probably worth double than Souček's value is, just because he's English and he's 22. I think Declan Rice is.
Yeah, Declan Rice is really young.
I mean, and I want to set something. This again, I'm going off on a side note here, but people like laughing at West Ham and saying we're crazy for asking for $100 million for Declan Rice. It's not that we think that he's worth that much, although I kind of do think he's worth that much because we're not going to find anyone to replace him. But we want to set a crazy high price tag so he doesn't go anywhere. I mean, what do people get about that? If you set a crazy high price tag, no one's going to want him. He's going to stay. That's how that works. And I see everyone like, oh, people are crazy. Declan Rice is worth $40 million, not $100 million, blah, 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 blah.
That's exactly. Somebody will pay $40 million.
Exactly.
Right.
For sure.
Exactly.
And who are you going to buy for $40 million?
Yeah, same with Jack Grealish. People are saying Villa are crazy for wanting $100+ million for him because he's that valuable to the team. Declan Rice is worth every bit of £200 million to West Ham because we will never find a guy who's that good who wants to come play for West Ham United. It's not going to happen.
He's been in freaking Mark Noble's pocket for 10 years now?
Yeah.
He's been learning from Mr. West Ham himself. Yep. Not only how to play in the midfield. I just listened to, I think Declan Rice was interviewed by the two Robbies, and he was talking about Mark Noble and talking about how Mark Noble has taught him so much that he never even thought he would need to know. But it's not how to defend. It's not how to attack. It's about things. It's about being a leader. It's about what the armband means. It's about everything. And so, yeah, exactly. Like Mark Noble isn't an expensive player.
No.
But for the past 10 years, you guys wouldn't have got rid of him for shit.
No.
Because he's West Ham through and through.
Yeah, and he's I've had this debate on my show whether I think Mark Noble's number 16 shirt should be retired whenever he leaves, because you will never, ever see a player do what Mark Noble has done, staying at the same club from academy until you're 35 years old. It just won't happen.
It doesn't happen anymore.
He had the opportunity to leave multiple times and for higher wages, and he decided to stay through it all. And I think loyalty is something that should be rewarded. And I absolutely think we should retire the number 16 shirt. And I think we have one stand that's not named at the London Stadium, and I think it should be the Mark Noble stand.
Nice.
Firm believer of that.
It definitely should. And listen, it's not like he has the number 7 shirt or the number 8 shirt.
Exactly. It's 16. Who cares?
That's Mark Noble himself of like, no. I'll be number 60.
Declan Rice, number 41.
Yeah.
Whatever shirt's available. Is there 1A available?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, I would take over to Arsenal from y'all squad if I could handpick. So
the entire back line, Rice and Souček and Fabianski.
Exactly. Can I have all of them, please?
Yeah.
Listen, Ruben Neves, quality. Pedro Neto, quality. Would love to have their excitement, their play. The person we would probably sign, knowing Arsenal, is João Moutinho, because he's older, and that's who we like. We like older people, but then also Souček, Declan Rice, fantastic. Jesse Lingard, even right now, even though I don't really like him as a person. But I'm strengthening my back line. And I'm taking Soufal because the dude's aggressive. And our right side right now, we have Hector H&M Bellerin, the model, who plays well sometimes. He's been
playing lately
because he's losing his spot. And so we have Cedric, who comes in, who's good, but he's really small. And Soufal takes a shot to the nose, a shot to the face, keeps going.
Gets up smiling.
He's a
Czech bastard. He's just an absolute bastard. I love it.
I think he would be him and Kieran Tierney across from each other on bringing up the sides. The flanks would be just so much power. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add what we're lacking at Arsenal this year, which is leadership and a voice. So I'm bringing the voice, Mr. Connor Cody,
the Scouser,
to bring. Come on, lads! Let's fucking go, lads! That's not a foul. Let's go. You gotta move forward. Go forward. Like
I love Cody. I think
they have to. Cody's amazing.
They have to turn down the audio in the stadium because he's so loud and he's a Scouser and he cusses the whole fucking time. That's not a fucking foul there.
I'm glad he got picked for England. I was really pleased for him, and he gives some great interviews after the game.
He's is he the captain for England?
No.
Harry Kane's captaining England when he's on the pitch, I'm sure. And I think Declan Rice is going to be taking it here soon whenever Harry Kane's not playing, much like when Mark Noble's not playing. There is a comment here. Mr. Tom said he lives 10 minutes from the London Stadium, never been inside it, and then he goes on to say West Ham should let me in there for free, seeing as I paid for it with my tax money. Thank you, Tom, for paying for our stadium. I greatly appreciate it. It's you're taking a nice little load off of Gold Sullivan and Brady there. So cheers for that. I'm sure they're going to be taking it off your hands here soon, and we'll get to take over the stadium in the next couple of years. But cheers for taking care of it while we use it. Appreciate it.
And then Ben, of course, he's always clarifying where exactly my accent is coming from, and he says that's a Scottish one. You know, I found as trying to do accents, the Scouser accent and Scottish are not that far away.
No, they're in the same.
They're in the same ballpark.
Yeah, they're in the same area code.
I met this guy in Vigo, Spain, and we heard him, like, we're all speaking Spanish, and then like bars away, I just hear this guy just talking that loud. I'm like, there's a British dude over here. I'm going to go talk football. How do you know he likes football? Listen to him. Like, I don't know what he was saying. That's what he's talking about. Oh, shit. And as for the, you learn when you're doing accents, like Irish is more up in the front of the mouth and Scottish is more in the back.
Throat, yeah.
And Scousers are like, they're like here and they talk.
The Scouse accent is one of the most disgusting accents in the entire world. That and deep south of the United States are like two of my least favorite accents in the world. Just appalling. So the deep south of the United States, the redneck accent, and then the Liverpudlian accent is just two of the grossest accents out there.
I need you to clarify in deep south because I'm from the south. But I have a very neutral accent.
You do not have a southern accent
No.
You don't have a southern drawl.
But I can do just about every one. So depending where it is, who you're talking.
Southern Texas, like that y'all. Where y'all from? We're from Texas. We love our guns and we love our barbecue.
Yeah.
Now hold on now.
I love my guns.
I just want to clarify here. Just want to clarify here why you want to make the baby Jesus cry.
Now listen, that's the problem. When you look at things from a worldly perspective, you don't understand that you're not incorporating Jesus into it and guns. That's like a lot of my
totally crazy direction that I didn't see us going into this year.
Exactly.
See, I have a New York accent. It really depends where I'm from because I can put it on and I can talk when I start going with Rich. We have a friend named Rich who he's
from Bay Ridge.
He's from Bay Ridge, and he talks. Yeah, you fucking clown. Here's your beer, you goomba. I'm like, nobody uses these words anymore except Rich because they work perfectly for that.
What's up, little buddy?
And yeah. So anyway, we've got a completely different version, but our fans know a completely different route. But our fans know that we were working. Yeah, there's Adam.
Well done, Adam.
Well done, Adam. I'm working on perfecting my Yorkshire accent, so when we go to Leeds next season, I can do it and people can make fun of me for it.
Are you gonna sing? You're gonna sing the Leeds song while you're there too, and everything.
Which one?
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
No.
I was because Leeds are like slowly becoming your second team, right?
They're definitely my second team this season. I kind of go through because you can't really have a full-on second team. But I can have a seasonal second team. And like Wolves first season, y'all were up. Wolves are my second team. I really enjoyed Sheffield United last season, to be honest. Yeah, but they were fighters.
This year they're dull.
We hate Sheffield United at West Ham. Hate them.
Yeah, but this year's definitely Leeds. They're the most fun to watch. They're the ones who play with the most integrity, I'd say. West Ham close second. If y'all had more supporters watch our show, then maybe West Ham would be my second team.
We try to get people. I mean, I put it out there. I mean, I won't say I'm going above and beyond, but I do make an effort to try to drag people who listen to our show onto this show. And I noticed a couple, and Tony on here was commenting, and he's my co-host. But I'm trying to help you out, and we're gonna have you on our show soon too. So hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, I'd love to. Here's Najee here, Top 4 Football. Go check out his YouTube channel, y'all. That's Mr. Najee. He asked, between Leicester City or West Ham, who is more likely to fall out of the top 4?
Is that this season? Is he asking?
Yeah, right now.
Then it's got to be West Ham. We're only a point in, and Leicester 7 points clear.
Yeah, Leicester's got a fair amount of points clear. I as much as I thought that they would. They certainly survived. The Madison being out, he came back to play this week. That was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
And
we do play Leicester next week on Sunday, I believe.
Yeah,
at home. That's going to be a huge game for us.
Spoiler alert! I think that's what I'm picking for my weekend watch list.
I think you can definitely say that we'll be doing that.
So maybe Brawley, maybe if we can have you back on, probably Wednesday we'll be filming, not live, and doing our weekend watch list where we pick the matches.
Yeah, if I can, I'll do it for sure.
So don't forget, everybody, go to our YouTube channel, and in the community section, we have a poll right now where you can pick the third match that we talk about. I get to choose one, Mark chooses one, and then we pick a third one. And this week, you Leeds United fans, I didn't put Leeds United on there. So you're going to have to choose a different team. And you can write Leeds in the comments, but pick something else.
Who do they play this week?
It doesn't matter. They get like 85%.
Leeds fans are crazy. I could not believe when I went over there the amount of Leeds people I saw. And that was when they were in the championship. And I could not believe the following that Leeds have. They are it's good that they're back in the Premier League, is all I'll say. I still think they're dirty Leeds. I don't love their team at all. I love Bielsa, but I think they are a Premier League team, and the Premier League is a better product when Leeds United are in there. And I can't wait to see Leeds when fans are allowed back in the stadiums, because that's always a good away day.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think the Premier League is a better product when Leeds are in it.
Yeah. For all you guys asking where Najee's been, Najee was on he was on
the
weekend watch list where we talked about this match, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about this match, Leicester City, Man City, so you can see him there.
Who did Najee pick to win this game?
He's still trying to
we picked West Ham.
He's trying to bring himself about since Chelsea losing to West Brom.
Yeah, ouch.
Such a fashion.
In all fairness,
thanks West Brom.
There is no
wait. In all fairness, Najee did ask if we were going to do a stream, and I was just like still in my pajamas having coffee, and I was like, I did not think this game would be worth talking about. I thought it was going to be a 2-0, very boring Chelsea win. So we didn't even talk about it in the weekend watch
list. Yeah.
So Najee did want to talk about it. He did want to talk about it. So we'll give him that. And I did pick Calvin Phillips to score yet again, just for Najee's sake, because he's like, your best player never scores. It's like, yeah.
Well, it's not really his job to score.
Exactly. Oh, they told him.
And that's the thing, because you'll always hear, everywhere you go, you hear this Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice debate. I just wish we could appreciate that England have two amazing central midfielders and not have to compare the two, because it really annoys me. Because I see West Ham fans just as equally saying, they would clap back and say, oh, anytime someone's talking about Calvin Phillips, they say, oh, Declan Rice is better. Oh, Declan Rice is better. And then you hear the Leeds fans, oh, Calvin Phillips is better. Calvin Phillips is better. I just wish we could just have two people and appreciate them and say they're amazing without comparing them, because I thought those two together against Poland were really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, man.
Together for England, and I love that.
And yeah, Ben, I know, right? He's been taking way more shots since Najee said that. Mm-hmm. Like, he hadn't even taken any shots, really. And then Najee said that, and Calvin Phillips starts taking shots. Even with England, he was taking shots. So listen, Brawley puts $100 million price tag on Declan Rice. Yep. Well, West Ham does. So let me ask you, Leeds United fans, because we have a lot of them here in the comments. What is the price tag you put on Calvin Phillips? Because if we're talking Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice, one's the best. No, this one's the best. And I agree that they're both fantastic at what they do. And they both offer so much more than ends up in a stat line. So it's hard to compare players like that. Mm-hmm. You can't say assists and goals and shit like that. So would you guys put $100 million price tag on Calvin Phillips to keep all these other clubs from stealing him? Put it in the comments. Let me see. 75 million from 70. Jimmy. 70 from Ben. But see, you're not afraid somebody would actually pay that, though? Like, that's what Brawley was saying. And that's what I'm going with.
And that's bordering. That's about, I mean, that's probably a little high, and people would try to talk that down. But I think if someone was desperate enough, they'd pay $75 million for him.
How much did Harry Maguire get bought for?
50. And that's why Declan Rice is younger. He can play center back, and he's really good at central defensive midfielder. And you could see in the game against Arsenal, that sprint he had up the pitch where he beat 8 guys. And if he would have scored that goal, I just would have went mental. I probably would have ran around the block naked.
I was clapping, going, "This guy! Oh my god!"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. This is. I like. Somebody said. I'm missing it. I'd sell Calvin for £100 million cash up front. Wait, there was one that I thought.
There's a couple of 75s.
Up here. So, yeah, I think Calvin Phillips, first of all, he's a bit more well, Declan Rice as well. Declan Rice has been there for a long time. He's an academy boy, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Chelsea released him at 14, and we picked him up, and he's been with us ever since.
Yeah. Wow, Najee, look at Najee's trying to get back in the good graces of Leeds United fans. If Jadon Sancho is 110 million, Calvin goes for more than that. England international. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean that the English thing is the biggest factor in this price because you have to have that homegrown quota on each of your Premier League teams. So I mean, the England factor does play a huge role in the valuations of these guys. Like we sold Dimitri Payet for £27 million. Payet was worth way more than £27 million, but that's where he wanted to go to Marseille because he wanted to go home, and that's the only place he would go.
Yeah. And then I just want to take note of this one comment from Paul Moore. Good to see you back on the chat, Paul, because he said, as a Leeds fans, I quite like Wham. Now, the question is...
The band?
How do you feel about being referred to as Wham? Because that's what I do. When I'm texting my buddy who's a West Ham fan, I always do Wham.
Yeah,
that's with fine. The exclamation point.
Yes, of course.
And the lowercase h.
Yeah. Nope, of course.
I love it. And it's respectful, I think, because Wham was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like Wham. I'm fine with that.
I just like that.
I'm comfortable enough with myself to admit I like Wham.
Yeah, at least if somebody's nicknaming you and putting the short, it's Wham. It's cool. It's like cool reference. We're arse.
Yeah, right. That's perfect.
Or the arse. You're already shortened to Wolves, not the Wolves.
Wolves.
You call them whatever you want. It's your team. Well, this has been fun talking to you, and we've gone into a bit of a chit chat, which I don't mind. That's what we do on the Stoop. So is there, did we all say our things? No, I didn't say my piece on my man of the match, by the way.
Sure. Go ahead.
My man of the match and my fuckhead of the match.
Well,
what did we decide on? Man of the match and
not quite there yet.
Yeah. Okay. So man of the match and the not quite, just can't get right man of the match. I'm giving to the same player. I'm giving it to Jesse Lingard because Jesse Lingard, you were so influential throughout so much of the game, but then you disappear at times. And, that's okay when you are playing very, very well and you're doing incredible things. But where I take it away, no, I still give you that, but I also give you this medal of something's not quite right. It's got to be the first yellow card, which was a bit harsh, as you say, for time wasting, but then he's already on a yellow card. He kicks away the ball, and to me, anytime that happens is like you don't believe in your team enough that you think you need a few extra seconds, because it didn't stop a quick attack or anything. It was just like a little, oh yeah, fuck off. And then after the match, he gets into a brawl.
Well, I didn't even see what happened. It wasn't a brawl. I mean, they were just people getting. There was a gathering. Maybe Lolo saw more.
Lingard is jumping up and down and doing and it's just, to me, the optics of it are, look, he could have been doing that, but I don't know what he was doing. But to me, it's like, listen, you just won. You're probably man of the match. You did some incredible things. Why do you have to tarnish? Like, Mark Noble would never do that.
He would do that. I mean, you've seen him get in the face of Pogba and guys like that and carrying Ander Herrera off the pitch, things like that.
Maybe, I don't know.
Mark Noble loved it, by the way, because he was like laughing and giggling with Jesse Lingard as they were walking off the pitch right after that.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't see what caused the thing to happen. I saw the very end of it when they were all around, and then Diop was dragging Lingard off, and then everyone just broke apart and started smiling and high-fiving. That's all I saw.
I didn't see any of that.
I don't know. To me,
I would like to see more. I would like to go on Twitter and see what actually happened, though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But can I defend Lingard for just a second on that part? When you said he went missing in the second half, I think a lot of that is David Moyes. He always tries to protect a big lead and sit off, and then when you do that, when the guys are told to stay home and stay back, he doesn't give them as much help up there when he needs the help. Like Antonio and Lingard work great off each other because Antonio's dragging two guys right, as you said, and he's cutting left, and then you got a free run at goal. I think Lingard works really well. Like Side Ben Rama, I think is good. When they finally figure that out, that partnership, it's going to be electric. And then when Moyes is telling them, hey, sit off, let's hold this lead, let's defend for our lives, I just think that's what causes Lingard to go missing. I will say I agree with you in his effort at times says, I've done enough today. I don't really need to do anything more. I think I've secured my bag. I agree with you to a certain extent there, but I do think Moyes' tactics don't help him in the second half because our first halves as of lately have been incredible, and then our second halves have been dog crap. And we did score a fourth goal today that was unluckily ruled out by a handball. It was a handball. That's the rule. If that was scored against us, I would have been livid. So I don't think that was a real goal. But we did score a fourth goal in our defense. I'm just trying to ease up on Lingard just a little bit. I know you don't like him, but I'm just trying to defend my boy a little bit.
I'm just like, he's been given a new lease on life, right?
For sure.
And
respect that.
He's made it count. And to that, good on you. And I see his tweets and stuff like that, and he seems very appreciative, and he seems like he's fallen in love with West Ham as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure he came over going, I just got to get some playing time, and then I'll be back to United. And now he's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They love
I can be the guy here.
The way I only got love for a minute in Manchester, you know? So all of that, it's just what leads me to continue. It's like, don't be a child.
Sure.
Don't be a child. You know, like you're coming here and you've turned a corner where you could have just disappeared into, like so many top players have that have a great, they're great coming up and you hear great things about them, and then they just kind of, they don't get the start. They stay out late. They do this, and then blah, 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 blah. And then for some reason, they're playing in the U.S. or somewhere, or they're not playing anywhere.
Yeah, and that was Jack Wilshere. That was Jack Wilshere for us, and who claimed to be a West Ham fan.
Us.
He claimed he was a boyhood West Ham fan, and he showed his true colors when he came here. He didn't give a shit about West Ham, and he was making $140,000 a week. So. He'll be in MLS before too long, guarantee it. He's playing okay with Bournemouth now, but a championship team.
Yeah, and he's better than that. To me,
he is. I picked him.
Talent is like he could have been Grealish if he worked harder.
Yeah, I wanted him to be so good with West Ham. I picked him last season. I thought he was going to be our hammer of the year and he was going to be our best player. And he gets injured and then lollygags about, and then while he's injured, he films a prank of him climbing into a tumbler dryer and scaring Declan Rice, and like it's just things like that. Just a bad. He didn't care about us. He just used us for the pay packet.
Yeah, that sucks. I like Mr. Tom's comment. I think Lingard should still be punished for celebrating his goal against Leeds, like his initial penalty.
I agree. Don't celebrate that.
I was on Twitter correcting everyone I could who said Lingard from the spot. Lingard scores from the spot. And I'm like, no, he did not. He scored from much closer.
He did.
Because how about Melier with a great save?
Yeah, it was.
Right.
And again, I think the penalty should be dead after the after the next touch of the ball. I think it should be dead. There shouldn't be any of this encroaching, any of this. I think your reward is you get one free shot from 12 yards out, and that is it. There's nothing after.
Because in order for a keeper to actually stop it, he's not going to catch it. It's going to be a parry. It's going to be a block.
Right.
It's going to come back. And if my guys can't get there, that means this one guy essentially gets 2 shots.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
and I want to address Ben Ireland. Lingard is a dick. Yeah, I thought so too before he signed for West Ham, and now I absolutely love the guy. I'll get Jay Ling's tattooed on my body at some point if he stays with us. I'm sure. I'm all aboard the Jesse Lingard train. All aboard.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope he gets right, because right now I feel he can't get right. I think it's a mental thing. I'm blanking on other players that I was comparing him to. I forget. Anyway, but for now he's doing fantastic, and he seems to be doing well with the fan base, which is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I hope he gets to play in front of real people, the West Ham fans soon. Same with Sofal, who hasn't got to either.
Yeah. So next season, and then maybe when we maybe we'll get enough money, and we'll bring you out to Leeds as well, and then we can go down to London.
Hey, I'll do Leeds away next season with you guys. I'll do that. Let's make it the West Ham game, and we won't be together for the game. I'll be in the away end, but we can meet up before and after.
Well, I don't know where
we're not even going to be at.
We'll be outside.
We'll be outside looking in.
They won't let us in. They're like, what jerseys are these? No,
they're not clowns.
They're not playing. They're like, all right,
that's how
Leeds fans here, Arsenal, West Ham fans here, but where do we put Wolves and Arsenal fans?
You Stoop fans are going to be way over there.
We'll be outside on the stoop of Ellen Road.
The American fans get the bad raps by doing stuff like that.
Showing up in different jerseys.
Yes. Well, like you see it because it's not supposed to happen, or you see like away fans in the home end, and I've heard terrible. Hey, he's buying the tickets. All right, Ben's buying the tickets. We're in. He's probably not going to buy them for me since we're coming.
Yeah, not for you. Away. But see, we'll do the Westgate run instead. I think that's a bar or something.
I hope it's not a marathon, because I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Maybe a marathon of pubs.
But anyway, one thing I wanted to say is,
well, thank you, Ben. We really appreciate that.
Sure.
Man. We're working it out. I'm telling you, it's going to happen next year. We're ready.
But you hear these horror stories of American fans wearing the opposing team's shirts in the home end of an away game, and that's how you get hurt. And I would like to please, if you're an American fan watching this, just do your research before you go over, please, because you don't want to get hurt, and no one wants to see you get hurt.
Yes,
but it's a different culture than it is going to an American sporting event. Most stadiums you'd probably be fine, but there are some places where you could get hurt doing that, so just be careful.
In Spain, so I go to Vigo. So you may know Celta de
Vigo. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we go there. We spend every summer there, basically. And when you go there, it says on your ticket, you are in the home side or the away side. If you are wearing anything from the opposite one, your ticket is not valid.
Yeah.
Like, you lose your ticket and you'll be kicked out. So it's like, it's legit. It's not even just a suggestion.
Yep. It's for your own safety. It really is.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you can get wild. You can get crazy. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably have a longer top knot. So I'll just put my top knot. I can wear a white T-shirt, and then I'll be fine. My Arsenal loyalty is still there.
There you go.
Hopefully these goddamn irons will be out of my head.
I'm sure they'll grow.
I was a little worried when they start shaving it in there. I'm like, my hair's not growing back very fast these days. Like,
that's only when you start to notice it, because it's growing at the exact same rate it has this entire time.
Yeah.
Your entire life.
Gosh. But anyway, look at all this love we're getting. Bandy's saying, Lolo and Mark, guests of honor at Leeds. There we go. Ben's going to get in touch with us. We're going to all these Scarborough taps and service bus.
We're going to need the new livers.
I'm going to not be on my keto diet while I'm there, because I will need to show people that I can actually drink, maybe for like a month before. I need to gain back all the weight that I've lost.
There you go.
So I can drink those British pints, the Yorkshire pints. There you go. But yeah, we are planning a whole trip, taking everybody out there. So hopefully, y'all can come out with us, and Wayne and I don't know
whoever else
take over. We'll take over, and we're gonna be doing
We'll do
from
a-
the stoop of Ellen Road.
We'll get a Stoop group picture of everybody.
For sure. Would love that.
Group spelled OOP.
Exactly. Group from the Stoop.
Your livers will need the NHS. Yes, indeed.
Love
But,
the
you know,
NHS.
I did live
Better
in,
healthcare
live in
than we
New
get here.
Orleans. I lived in New Orleans for a long time, so I am able to drink. And we practice here. Our director has a kegerator, so
Nice.
it's getting to keg weather.
Mm-hmm.
Sure is.
He's going to be doing happy hour on the Stoop.
Yeah, we'll
Stoop.
do happy hour on the stoop. So, all right, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, the share button. We love all you guys. We love your banter. We don't even give a shit that you guys talk to each other in the comments for most of the time about leads. Thank you guys for listening to us. Don't forget that we have happy hour every Friday where you get to hang out with us. Hopefully, Brawley will make it on one of those. Brawley has a newborn child, so
yeah, but it's tough.
it's tough. But there it is right there. We do trivia, trash talk, all that good stuff. And we are also starting a On the Stoop gaming channel where we will be playing FIFA 21. You guys will be able to join in. Not really. We're going to figure it out on the fly. So if any of you guys actually play FIFA and all that, look out for us. I think we're going to be Thursday night. We may do our first one and we'll be testing it out, but then we'll be playing FIFA, and we're going to be playing the match weeks. So if we say, it's Leeds United, Manchester City, we'll play Leeds United, Manchester City, and you guys can get in on that. So it'll be awesome. Thank you guys so much for all the chats. Bremer's Ghost knows. Look, Jimmy says happy hour rocks. Best thing about being nocturnal. Exactly. Paul says, I'd be happy to get you boys a pint when you come over.
Hey, we'll take you up on it.
We'll take you up on it. Ben says, gear show and interaction once. Oh, great show, I think. Yeah. Interaction once again, guys. Thank you. Looking forward to the next show. Have a good evening. Thanks you so much, Ben, for being here. We appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like before you guys leave. Mike said, Mike Pickles. And maybe don't stand up and cheer for the other side.
No, we wouldn't.
Yes.
We know that.
We know better than that.
There are people that don't know that, though, and you would be shocked.
There is a reason why we've
it.
gotten as old as we have.
Exactly. Living in New York, hating the Giants and the Yankees and the Mets and the Jets and all the other teams.
You just kind of keep it to yourself.
Yeah, and hopefully, I can't wait to see the reaction on Ian's face, or I think his name was Ian, when West Ham do finish above Liverpool and finish in the.
And you know who called that? You know who called Liverpool not being in the top 4, and this was in December? Najee. So all y'all talking shit about Najee, just know he called that shit too.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you all next.
We'll see you on Friday.
Thursday for sure.
Thursday, Friday, whenever you see.
But Friday for happy hour. All right. Much love.
Peace.